Hi, everyone. So this is my presentation for my spring internship. This past spring, I had the privilege of interning with the University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy, previously known as the College of Pharmacy, under the supervisors Brianna Hetfinger and Greg Caddick. So my roles and duties with this internship was really, to sum it up, helping out where they needed it because their program has added multiple sports the last couple years, but they haven't been able to adequately staff it for those. But I got to go on a editing software and create graphics for their social media and their website for any type of sport, baseball, basketball, volleyball. Something that I didn't expect to do, but I ended up enjoying was writing game recaps. I primarily focused on baseball and softball, but I also ventured into volleyball and tennis, two sports that I had some common knowledge on, but not anything really specific. But I was able to learn quickly, which I thought was a really good thing and it was a really good feeling. And then the other things that I really enjoyed doing is I got to be the scoreboard operator at their home games for the baseball team. And I also got to work on the stat program, recording play by play and staying up to date with substitutions. Alrighty, so some of the goals I had and how I achieved them. Um, so the goals that I have listed on here are being able to write game recaps on sports that I wasn't super familiar with, as well as do these in a timely manner, because procrastination is an easy trap to fall into. I also wanted to learn the gameplay of lacrosse better because I sat in at multiple games trying to help with stats and trying to spot certain plays so I could help the stat keeper stay up to date because it's a lot faster paced than some other sports. And then the last thing is how to work the baseball stat program, which wasn't necessarily hard, but you had to be really concise with knowing what players substituted and where, if a pitcher got taken out, where did they go, or if any other double switches happened, as well as just understanding the lingo and the abbreviations for certain type of plays that happen. A lot of my goals were achieved by not being afraid to ask questions and ask my supervisors for guidance. A lot of the things that we had to do was a learning process, not just for me, but for them too. And as soon as I realized that, it was easier to say, hey, I don't understand this. Can you please help me out? Or can we work on this together? And that definitely helped. And then I also, once I realized what I was going to be doing for like, the next week or something, I would research tutorials on uh, how to play lacrosse, how lacrosse works, so that when I would go to the next lacrosse game, I would be able to know the lingo and be able to translate it quicker to the stat keeper. And I think that was honestly the best tool for me, as well as not being able to not be afraid of uh saying, hey, I don't get something. Lessons and things and takeaways that I had. I kind of touched on that, but short list is never be afraid to try new things, be curious, ask questions. A lot of this was new territory for me, so I didn't have as much experience, but I never wanted to say no to anything that they asked of me because that not only shows resilience, but it also shows some leadership skills. And by doing that, I realized that I can learn more on the fly than I thought I could. And it also just gives me more experience in areas that I might want to go into in the future. Um, Furthermore, patience is key and being okay with failure was definitely something that I ran into. And once I was able to overcome the fear of failure, I was able to learn from it quicker and be like, okay, this is a part of learning. Also learned a lot from seeing how my supervisors conducted themselves and how they were honest and how they asked each other for help when they needed it and worked together in a very fluid, cohesive way. And I think that really helped. And then that also just created a sense of comfort for me since I hadn't been a part of something like this really ever before. So it was quite new. Um, a lot of the growth just had to do with the fact that this was something I had never done before. And it was definitely uncomfortable, but not in a bad way. It was something that once I started and had people to go to, I became quickly familiar with it. And it also allowed me to realize more about myself in terms of what I might end up wanting to do or what direction I want to go. It was really just like kind of like how I put it here. Um, Pushing through the barriers of intimidation and uh imposter syndrome and stuff like that. Once you get past that and put your foot in the door, you might end up putting yourself on a path of self-discovery. And I think that's kind of been what it's been like for me is finding things that I can do that I'm truly passionate about that also contribute to a very complex, integrated society. And I couldn't be more grateful that I went this direction. Um, if I was gonna give my younger self any advice, it would be step outside your comfort zone sooner. Don't try to look for comfort, almost look for not the opposite, but for opportunities that don't sound perfect. Like, don't say, oh, this allows me to reinforce and enable all of these tendencies that I already have that allow me to just sit in this small little circle. Um, if you do that, it's just going to make those habits and tendencies even stronger and make it harder to get past that in the future. So the sooner you do it, the better off you'll be. So that's definitely what I would tell myself. Advice in conclusion, when it comes to advice for incoming students, students already in the sports management department, it would be to just do a lot of research, try to find opportunities that um are unique and unlike what you might have assumed about yourself. Don't try to nitpick and find experiences and or internships based off very exclusive and uh specific traits of yours. Be open, put yourself out there, try to find um opportunities that are going to challenge you. I think that's the biggest thing is that if you're afraid of challenge, you're not going to learn and you're not going to experience these really unique opportunities. I think that's definitely the biggest thing for me because I would have never thought that within a semester I'd have a internship in the sports industry. I'd get to go volunteer and work at the Super Bowl. I'd get to work at the Arch Madness tournament, and then on top of that, I get to finish my semester off by volunteering at the Tulsa Tough. That if somebody would have told me that's what I was going to do this semester a year or two ago, I would have been like, there's no way. I don't even know for one back then how that would have happened. I would have been like, I don't even know where to begin. But life, luckily, um, shifted me along the right direction, and I couldn't be happier about it. But like specifically to incoming students, just be very timely with your assignments. Dr. B is very lenient and has cutoff dates to where you can literally wait multiple months and then still get full credit. And I think that is that's the most leniency you're going to get in any class. You're not going to find that anywhere. But don't take advantage of that because it's almost going to just keep more mental pressure on you when you're like, oh yeah, I'll eventually be able to do that. No, do it now. There's no reason to put it off that much. I've fallen victim to that a lot. I still do. But then it puts me in a situation to where that midnight deadline where I can turn in everything, I'm like, the list is huge. And that is not going to be a fun night. And then you're going to sacrifice sleep. And then you may not time everything out right. And then you may realize that you're not going to be able to get everything done. So then you're not going to be able to get all the credit that you want. And then just for current students, just reach out to Dr. B, have a set appointments with her, ask her questions. Don't be afraid to say that you don't know how to do something or how to begin a certain thing or how to stand out in an application process for an internship. And also take advantage of the opportunities that she puts out there. I could not emphasize it more that that is the best thing you can do. I've been in this department for less than a year. And I've had memories that are going to last a lifetime. And that I'm so thankful for that. So yeah, that is just utilize your resources, talk to your Dr. B, and be ready to work hard. And stay up to date with all your deadlines. To really conclude, though, about my internship specifically, I loved it. It was so it was so natural to me, things that I just enjoyed doing. And I would totally see myself venturing off a path that keeps me uh doing the same types of things. Um, and I'm excited for new opportunities and the other internship I'll be doing this summer with the Alton River Dragons. Thank you.